Welcome to the best show in the whole land, the Broski Doodle, brought to you by the south of Florida, Miami-Dade Toyota. You come here, you get 2 Toyota for the price of 1, okay? My friend Manolo gonna help you. And thank you for joining us today on the Broski Doodles. The Broski Doodles. We have our friend joining us again. He keeps requesting. He wants to be famous. He knows this is one of the biggest platforms in the whole of North America, but also part of Europe. It's Eastern Europe mainly. Mm-hmm. Back when Steve Ski was part of the podcast, we had a lot of people see us from over there. But how you doing, Big J? You looking fresh. You looking Miami vibes, dog.
You already know, bro. Gotta live it up here in Miami.
I love it. You know, when people talk to me about Miami, it brings reminiscing, it brings nostalgia feeling because, you know, they tell me the freedom, you know. They say, look, man, you come here, and if you wear a mask, you a pussy, man. If you come to my house and you wear a mask, I shoot you in the face. It's part of self-defense. Oh. Do you feel there's a vibe over there like if you like shotgunny vibe? Like, do you feel like there's like this feeling that I'm pretty like, you're pro mask, right? Mm-hmm. Do you feel some sort of discrimination when you're going around in the south of Florida with your mask on? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like other people might feel like you're emasculated?
Me personally, I've never like really paid attention to that whole like, is it masculine, is it feminine, is it for boys or for girls? What you do, whatever you want, as long as it makes you happy and it makes you feel safe or whatever the fuck you want to do. I do get these like side eye glances and these looks like if I go into somebody's house and I know them, right, and I know everybody that's there, and I know that they haven't had any incidents, that they mostly stay at home, that they don't really like do work, or they could do like work online. So I know their history and I know they're good. And I go into their house and I go without a mask per se. And then somebody shows up that I've never seen and I put on my mask. They look at me like, this guy's dumb, you know, like this guy's stupid. Right. But it's really like a precaution. But yeah, at the end of the day, I shouldn't even be there. If you really look at it.
Yeah, for reals.
But if I'm there and something like that happens, then it does make me look dumb. I do feel kind of stupid sometimes putting it on, even though I'm like, dude, like, the fuck. But I always do, like, if I put on the mask, stay the 6 feet, try to avoid, like, I even to the point where I'm passing by the person and I'll hold my breath to not breathe. Type shit.
And the virus going in like, this motherfucking thing is tricks. It's slick.
Like that.
This guy doesn't know we're 70% more transmittable now.
Because of the UK?
This is the UK. Hello, boy. This is the UK one. This is the UK variant. We come here from the UK with the variant, mate.
Hello, governor.
Hello. You want a glass of water?
A bottle of water.
You want water? So that's the UK.
Sorry, no, you made me choke.
No, it's okay. I tend to do that.
That's what she said.
But the UK, the UK variant, you know, is coming through, and so you know what you're saying is funny. Like, I chilled with some friends recently, and before I went, I was like, "Hey, is anybody else gonna be there? Okay?" And it did feel like, damn, I wasn't being like this questioning before, but there is a big difference how here in Europe is the other way around. Like, if you're out there, first, if you're out there without a mask, you're going to jail, right? I mean, socialism, right? Fucking regimes. The fuck up.
But is that legit? Is that serious? Like you don't.
You first will get like a
fine, and then like a repeat offender.
But I mean, eventually you can, you know. So it is crazy. It is a bit crazy, but I wanted to talk to you about some very various topics today. Right. Some of them that have to do with the recent stock movements, and also about some Disney movies and HBO movies, even Netflix movies that are being a bit censored because of like things that I find to be dumb, like historical things. But we'll touch on that first. I wanted to talk about, because I just found out when we were in the green room where we put all the snacks and the things that the guests can taste, connoisseur and shit. You were telling me that you actually bought GameStop stock, and also AMC. So you're seeing the movie theaters as a business that's gonna flourish in the near future. So what?
I wouldn't say that, but okay.
Are you? You can share, like, for example, the price that you got the GameStop.
Oh yeah, of course. GameStop, I think I got it like at 67.
And when was this?
Like last week. I'm pretty sure I got in late. I'm pretty sure gonna lose my money, but I only did buy one stock, just to mess around to see what happens.
Well, I'm pretty sure, like, if you leave now, you come out at the same price.
If I leave now, I'll break even, but I didn't get into this to break even.
Oh shit! Actually, you wouldn't break even. From this morning, you went from 70 to 59. So right now you're losing $13. But again, you didn't come in here to break even.
No.
You're playing in the long run, baby.
Exactly.
GameStop is gonna revolutionize the motherfucking world. They're actually gonna start paying you money for the games they buy from you. They're switching the whole dynamics up. They're like, hey, how about we pay fair prices for games, and we're not this evil corporation? They're like, what? And then so they're changing the model. And I'm just kidding. Everybody loves that GameStop feeling, but we do know they give you 23 cents for all your games, an Xbox, and your grandma. So, so you bought it at 67 about.
And without the grandma, they only give you 3 cents.
Only. The grandma,
is really like the big, because she's gonna contribute, a free employee. So yeah, I bought GameStop at 67, and then I bought AMC like at 10. I do feel like there's more potential for AMC to grow, just because of the lower price.
Okay. But
realistically, that the reason I bought those wasn't because of I see a bright future in the theater industry, or the gaming's coming back to the brick and mortar area, and it's not gonna happen. It's all because of the internet, really, because of that whole GameStop.
So you just wanted to break the format, the man. You want to stick to the man.
I just want to make money. I don't really care who I'm sticking it to. I need to get it. I need to get something back.
Okay, but well, for example, right now AMC is $6.15. You lost $4 on that. So we could
right
say,
now,
I mean, if you wait it out, you could lose all your money.
If I wait too long, I could lose every single dollar that I put in. Yes.
But that is part of the game, right?
That is part of the game. I didn't come into
to be no bitch ass.
No, to break even.
Right. Okay, if I'm gonna lose, I fucking all out. All in.
The other one that I did participate in was Dogecoin. That one I got it at 4 cents, and now it's at 8.
Oh, that's the one that Elon Musk tweeted about, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's a cryptocurrency. Okay, what do you think about the cryptocurrencies? Do you think they're real?
To be honest with you, I still don't understand how they acquire their value. I know it's some sort of like blockchain scenario where there's a limited amount of actual coins available in the world, but I don't know how that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know a little bit more than from what you are saying. But I still don't know how it really works, because I mean, no, I know how it works, but I don't know why it has value. Like, I have a friend that if he's listening to this, my friend Ruben, Ruben, he's been on the show. We talk about cryptocurrencies. It's about episode 50, somewhere around there. We talk about cryptocurrencies. I'll try to put it up here. I'll talk to the producers. But whatever. If he's listening to this, he's gonna be like, "You fucking retard." But because he will tell you like this shit is for real. Like, this is gonna fucking change the world. And for me, it's like the blockchain technology is, I believe in that. Like, that's actually a great tool for banking in general. It makes it very safe, makes it very reliable, etc. But the underlying value of what you call the Bitcoin or whatever the cryptocurrency is, to me, it's like I don't see value there. And maybe I'm not seeing enough in the future. But it's like when you talk about gold, which is the real standard for money, like that gold actually has value that hasn't changed in thousands of years. Like its value stays there. You can use gold. Gold is used for many technologies, so it's actually a very important, what's it called, element that we
resource.
Use on the earth. Yeah. But then when you talk about a Bitcoin, it's nothing. It's just a code. So that's where I find it hard. Like you can if you told me, look, we're gonna use the blockchain in these cryptocurrencies, and we're gonna back it up with gold. So really, you have gold in a vault. And then you're going to use that real gold through this digital system so you can trade it. And, like there's already ways for you to get gold and put it in a brink safe, and you can like sell and shit and transfer people. But this will make it even better, right? But the fact that just the thing alone has value to me is like, I don't know. I just don't see it's a code. It's no, like, what do you think?
In relation to like U.S. money, isn't U.S. money backed by gold?
Used to be.
Used to be. Not anymore.
In the 1970s, they took it out. They took it off. They went off the gold standard. So that meant that from there on, the dollars that were out there didn't have to match with, what was in the... Like, no,
in the safe, right?
Like, correct. Like, whatever you have on your safe should be backed up by all the... whatever the bills should be backed up with what's on the safe. In the 1970s, some president, probably a fucking socialist, said said some shit like, you know what? From now on, it's not necessary for the bills to be backed up by something in the bank. We're just gonna print them, and it's gonna be fine. Like we never thought of this, but I just realized this yesterday. I mean, I'm a very smart person. If you just print the money, then you don't even have to create the economy to back it up. And it's easier, it's faster, and they apply this in Venezuela, and it's going great. So
and in Argentina too.
Yeah,
that's nice.
No, but I think that fucked it up. When you talk about the silver eagle, I think that's what it's called. It used to be a $1 coin.
Mm-hmm.
Now that coin costs like $20.
That's that one silver dollar.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're really pretty. But anyways. So that was our segment on finance. You can follow me and John on the morning news, on the economy section. We're always there. You know what channel, you know what time. And
right underneath the, like the little ticker, the little ticker symbols.
The Dow Jones went up 5% today. Elon Musk trolled the whole Wall Street.
Well, he bought like $1 billion in Bitcoin, didn't he? Recently, Tesla or something like that.
I don't know. I know that he tweeted some shit about that coin that you said, Gomor. Or what's it called?
Dogecoin. Dogecoin. Yeah.
He's a G. I recently made the Broski Doodles. There's like a clip video that I did, a reaction video, and of him speaking to some lady like in 60 minutes. And she's asking, because like the SEC, which is the securities and whatever, like the one that regulates the stock market type shit. The SEC, apparently, that they're always talking about and controlling shit and manipulating stuff, from what I understand. Allegedly, and he like hates them, right? So because of the tweets that he makes, and how that can affect markets and shit. Apparently the SEC told him like, hey, you can't
tweet shit.
You can't tweet shit. Like before you tweet shit that can potentially move the market, you gotta run it by your CEOs in Tesla, right? And the people, not the CEOs, the board, and the board at Tesla is not necessarily happiest with Elon Musk because like any creative person, he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna smoke weed and fucking create flamethrowers, motherfucker. Like so,
he does whatever the fuck he wants.
So, dude, so she's like, okay, so this means that you have to run these things by the board and shit. And it's like, yeah, but only when it's something that can affect like the market, right? And she's like, okay, but then how? So pretty much he's saying like, no, they don't have to monitor every tweet, just the ones that can affect the market. And she's like, yeah, but before you tweet them out, if they don't monitor every of them, how they're gonna know beforehand that the tweet will or not affect the market? And he's like, I mean, mistakes can be, might be made.
Mistakes can be made.
It's like, we're human, we're not perfect, And then she starts laughing, like,
right.
And then he does like this little like weird, awkward move, and then he's like, let me make myself clear. I have no respect for the SEC.
Basically, he's gonna say whatever the fuck he wants, regardless.
Dude, it was like straight up gangster. Like, turned down for what?
Yeah, like you're telling me I have to be careful what I say, bitch. I'm gonna say something right now.
Yeah, dude. He was like, no, I mean freedom of speech, Okay, but then how they're gonna know like if it might affect the market? It's like, well, we might make some mistakes, Dude, I just found it to be so
but imagine having that much power that a tweet can fluctuate the market by like, I don't know, like 10% or some shit like that.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. But I think that's what? Do you think like Elon Musk is like a character that might bring two worlds together, just like the whole GameStop thing, where people were like against the big hedge funds and fuck them, like we found a way to. So like you would see that when the fuckers at the top try to manipulate the thing so that people couldn't buy more and they could sort of cover their asses. You have people from the right and the left coming out saying like fuck them, and it felt like, oh, I haven't seen a topic in a long time where the two worlds meet and agree. Like the only ones that you saw defending the hedge funds, like, no, we need regulation, like this type of like Reddit internet bros, can really fuck up people, like Elizabeth Warren, right? Those are the fake socialists. Like, what do you mean you're defending the fucking rich people? Like,
oh, but like Elizabeth Warren came out and said that
she said some shit like, oh, people need to understand that like the volatile movements in the stock market are not healthy for the economy, and like pretty much defending
and this is the same person talking about taxing the rich and all that bullshit.
Yeah. Isn't she now the secretary of some like shit?
I don't know. She probably is.
Yeah. So yeah, things like she's the secretary of some like finance or economy, some shit like that. But I mean, I haven't seen many. I'm not trying to be biased here because I know you're more on the blue side, the donkey blue side. And this is not to get confused with the donkey fucking episode, which that is on its own. It could be blue. It could be blue or any color. Like the donkeys, we don't, you love them anyways. But
right.
This is more the Democrat party, right? They're the blue donkeys, the blue monkeys. Blue monkeys were some other shit back in Ultra, and I don't even want to go there. But the blue donkeys.
Blue monkeys. Oh my god! Shut up.
Yeah, crazy times. But do you think that it's interesting that we meet in that? Like, did you see that connection when that happened? Like, people from both sides came together for this.
Right. I did like the fact that it united both sides or both fronts, like against a common enemy. But I mean, realistically, I don't know if the tables were turned and you were one of those hedge fund guys, wouldn't you be like pissed that because some random dudes are just like fucking with your wallet because now you're like 70 billion deep, even though it doesn't matter to you because you got billions of dollars, quote unquote. But now you're stuck with this bill for 70 billion because some guys wanted to buy GameStop.
I mean, there is a thing here, like people short businesses, and it's a healthy thing in business. Just like you bet on a business to make it when you buy a stock. You know, when you buy a stock, you're betting that this shit is gonna grow, right? So those predictions allow the market to allocate the money on things that people believe are gonna succeed. And shorting allows the opposite, allows people to allocate money using the incentive of what they feel is gonna fail, right? Like businesses that are gonna fail. And that's important because that squeezes out the businesses that don't work. And, you know, but what was happening with GameStop, or what's happening, is that they're shorting it for like 130% of the amount of stocks. So they're like abusing shorting it. Like they're like it was called like, not a short squeeze. Short squeeze would be what the Reddit people try to do. The fuckers is when you try to catch them at their own game. Because when you're shorting, like you bought a GameStop stock at 67. If it goes to zero, you lost 67. That's it.
Right. That's it.
With shorting, it's unlimited loss. Because meaning you borrow the stock at 67 because you're hoping it's gonna go down to like 10, right? And what you do is you borrow the stock, you sell it at 67, and when it goes down to 10, you buy it back and you loan it. You give it back to whoever loaned it to you. You make $57, right? But if it's the other way around, where it goes up to $350, now you have to put in
the 67 plus the whatever to get to the 350,
and to get that stock back. And what happens when 130% of the stocks are shorted is that there's not even enough stocks for you to buy back when you need to. so that's why they restricted the fucking little guys from buying. They're like, no. Like all those little apps, they didn't have enough money to use as collateral for the big market makers to loan them, to give them those stocks. And what ended up happening is that then the big stockbrokers, the ones that do have enough money, the hedge funds, were able to exclusively have access to the stocks. And because there wasn't no demand, because they weren't allowing it to be sold, it artificially brought, well, I mean, let's be real, the price was already artificially up. They just brought it a bit down so that they could sort of buy back in and, you know, whatever.
At a lower price, right. And be able to either sell or short it.
And it's going to be practically one of the best explanations you're going to get to this from two retards like us. So,
which I don't know shit about stocks.
Yeah. We're here like fucking stretching it. Like, clearly not our place. Okay. No, but yeah. So if things go as expected, John will be losing about $77 by the end of the year. But
I hear that there might be like a bounce back
for the AMC, the movie theaters, the theaters, or the GameStop, and both.
It could be both. It's just talk for right now. But supposedly the short report comes out tomorrow.
The what?
And then the short report for the like the trading for the stock, the whole thing that you're talking about, the shorting and stuff. So a short report comes out tomorrow, and based off of that, they make their projections or they make their bets, quote unquote. And then after that, I think the Wall Street bros want to make it bounce back again.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's gonna be AMC or GME or neither. It could be all talk, no play.
All talk, no play.
But we've seen these guys get together for. I mean, it seems to me like it was more like a passionate feeling, they wanted to save a company that was dying from their youth. but really, it should have died long ago.
Yeah, I mean AMC, I could
No,
see.
not well, I'm talking about GME, but
No, no, no.
AMC just because of the whole Rona. But
Yeah, that I think AMC might have a chance, but GameStop. I mean, what can they do? I mean, move more digital. The problem with GameStop, and I'm against this as well, is that the gaming industry became an industry where they don't want you to have a physical game that you can play independently without them. They want you to always have to be connected to the internet so that there can always be updates. And if it's not updated, you cannot play the game. This way, they can always sell you more shit. When you buy a game physically, sometimes you have to always go home and install the game and download more. So it's
and that
no.
so and then not only that, you this whole thing about, hey, I'm done with this game. Here, you can borrow it and shit. You know.
Yeah, they don't like that.
You can't. They don't like that because you could borrow it to 10 different people, and now the value of the game that was $60 is now $6 a piece. Type shit.
I kind of prefer you charge me $100 for the game, but you let me have it physical. Now, do you think there's also a limitation regarding just? I mean, this will be their excuse, right? That the games are so massive that they don't fit on a CD anymore. Do you think that's an argument?
But aren't they on Blu-ray now?
Is right, like that? Those type of discs can carry a lot more, right?
Yeah, like I think like 7 gigs or something like that.
And they work for gaming, I would assume, right?
I mean, the you could already see like starting with the PS4 and the Xbox One, they were already capable of reproducing Blu-ray disc.
No, I know. I just don't know that if Blu-ray is capable of, I mean, it should, right? You could probably put a game in there.
Yeah, it's just storage information. Yeah.
Yeah. For all the IT people out there, also looking out there.
This is the IT part of the episode.
IT section. So this is where now we attempt to know shit about the IT world. So of course, I mean, with the Blu-ray technology, you cannot put the the fucking Blu-ray. Actually, my Xbox One, it's true, it plays Blu-ray, and I never thought I ever needed it. But I found a concert of this band, Mumford and Sons. I don't know if you've heard.
Oh, you like them?
Yeah, I really like them.
Yeah.
You like them?
Yeah, they're really cool.
I seen them live in Barcelona. Yeah, they're sick. They're sick. So yeah, but I don't know if it's weird that we like them and we're not like two girls from Ohio, but hey man, life is diverse. God damn it.
Hey, but remember, we're musicians. We appreciate the art of the music.
That's true. That's true. Oh yeah.
Before our technology failed us.
Yeah. So ironically, we just fixed a problem right now, and that's why it's the IT section. It's important to note that we're trying to get this shit. You know, we're IT professionals, so so yeah, they could probably put a Blu-ray. But anyways, the fact that you don't have to buy a physical game anymore, you do it through online. Fucks with the brick and mortar stores, because that kept GameStop alive even when brick and mortar wasn't popular. Because if you needed to get a physical game, although isn't Nintendo still keeping it real?
Yeah, but I mean
but who the fuck plays? Nah.
I mean they do it because they appeal more to like a younger generation of gamers, I would say, more so than the Xbox or the PlayStation 4. So sometimes if like a kid walks into, like a kid is more likely to walk into a store to be like, mommy, I want this, I want that, than to be online on the computer, you know, hey mommy, I want to buy this with your credit card or whatever the maybe.
Oh, okay, that's true.
But even then, they could still probably get better prices from like Walmart or Amazon or like these other big retailers online versus going to GameStop.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the prices might have to get more competitive. And GameStop is gonna have to like put something else to do while you're in there. You know, like I don't know, if it's in California where shit is legal, put a bunch of little bong hits around the store. You know, like
I would be like a proponent for hosting like gaming tournaments or something like that. You know.
Yeah, Yeah, for noobs.
Like make it a one-stop shop for games type shit. You know,
Yeah, and for noobs. Like I think
for noobs,
noobs don't like myself. I play a lot of games, but I'm a bit of a noobster. And
like casuals.
yeah, like casual. That's a nice way to call it, for lack of a better word. Yeah, the casuals. There's some of us that have to, pick up coal and fucking put it in trucks in the morning, and then in the afternoon we got a little bit of time. We don't got South Korean 23 hours a day time.
Right. So you like mine coal during the day, and then at night you play your coal simulator 2021 so you can be ready for work the next day.
In the morning I go to the mines. In the evening I play Minecraft. So
oh man,
it's a whole ecosystem of misery.
Oh man,
we want the coal workers back. God damn it.
Have you ever like caught yourself in a game like weeks or months in, you're like at a level 200 and some shit, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing here? You know?
Yeah, I like to take those thoughts away quickly before I come to reality of what I'm making of myself.
And then you get like a notification. Oh, you just got another little Easter egg. I'm like, oh great, yeah. Let me open that.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Bah.
Although also the other day, I'm more into competitive gaming. Well, competitive gaming. I'm more into multiplayer.
Okay.
I do like some story games and shit, but mostly multiplayer. And the other day I had a good day where the main games that I play, Warcraft 3 and Halo. At the moment, Halo 5 on the Xbox. The other day I had a day where I was fucking beating everyone on both games. And it just felt like... And I felt this like achievement feeling that I would have felt if you fucking just got a good job or some shit like that. But then after I felt the feeling, I'm like, who the fuck can I tell this that would recognize this? So I told my girlfriend, and I was like, you gotta understand, like, this is a lot. Like, this is. She's like, oh, okay. So, but it made me feel like fuck. But it is, dude. I'll be honest. Do you think gaming improves your mental functions for other things?
Depending on what kind of game, I do feel that it can help with your hand-eye coordination, reaction time. Like it could reduce it, and problem solving, things like that. Because like how there's a lot of like games where it requires you to solve a puzzle or something like that, or to break a lock or something like that, and depending on how often you're doing these things, it can increase your performance in these areas.
I feel like at my job where I have to use a lot of programs and shit, I feel like I'm really quick. And sometimes when I'm like doing things really quick, like I'm like, oh fuck, I feel like I'm microing in Warcraft. Like I feel like I'm sending party one over there, party one over here, get the resources, get the king, get the leech, kill him, that area of damage,
and so on and so forth. Like, yeah, but you felt like almost like an efficiency, like in your processes that you were doing.
Yeah, like it almost felt like I was feeling the same synchronization that I was feeling when I played games, where it was all on point, like. So yeah, that's the IT section, okay? Now we're gonna come with the cancel culture section.
So this is where we get real.
This is where it gets real. This is probably the clip that allows my career not to grow.
This is probably where we get canceled.
There's that new fad. Cancel them before they're even known. So, all right. So what I'm reading from some news things that I saw, where certain platforms, like streaming platforms like Disney Plus, HBO, Netflix, they're in one way or the other censoring certain movies or putting disclaimers or raising the age limit that you can watch it, because they consider them to have either racist behavior or depictions, or like misogynist, is that the word? Like rapey
Rapey with
rapey.
a Y.
Yeah. RAPEY is how I would spell it. Not that I need to know how to spell things like that, as I don't condone any of those things. But
Or partake.
Yeah, or partake. So there's 3 movies which that are they're being like
They're being removed. They're being
they're
censored.
not being removed,
being
but they're being a bit censored.
edited.
I think they have a disclaimer and they raise the age limit, so you have to be 7 and up. So I mean, you would understand a 7-year-old kid. I mean, he now knows what racism is. So I mean, I don't know.
But does he? Like,
No,
I don't know.
not really. I don't know. Like, if you're gonna raise the age because you think it's racist, then put it at like a 15, because then. I mean, I don't agree with any of it. But let me give you the movies, because when I saw the movies, it hit me on my heart, because I was like, "Fuck, these are movies I grew up with."
Really?
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan?
They have like an Indians. They have Indians like.
Yeah. Oh
and then
my God.
They're calling them Redskins. I think. Is there like a song?
They actually have a song.
How does it go?
What makes the red man red? And it goes into the depiction of, people with red skin being Indians. I mean, I can see where that would be a problem. But mind you, that movie was made in the 50s, before there was this acknowledgement of, racial inequality and racial standards.
Because the newer one with Robin Williams doesn't have this, right? No,
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Okay,
it doesn't. But it doesn't even. I don't even think it touches on Indians.
Yeah,
in the new one,
make it like little savage kids that live. Okay.
Yeah, they never even go into that whole Indian part. They just go into the Lost Boys and really just expand the Lost Boys universe and fighting against Hook.
And when that movie was made, it was like what, 98? Like, it wasn't woke culture. So, but in any case, okay. So the original one was made.
But there
in the 50s.
there was more prevalent. Like, there was more, I guess, talk about racial injustice and inequality, starting with the black people, and then also incorporating the
Native
the issues
Americans.
the Native Americans.
Yeah, in Miami, you could go to Mikosuki and you can go to the casino there, and apparently they got their dues paid back. No, I don't know, but they make band.
They make bang.
So that's that one. They have also censored the aristocrats. The aristocrats.
The Aristocats.
Cats. Remember that movie?
Barely enough to remember the part that was either racist or misogynist. What was happening in that one?
They had like different cats, like. And normally, I mean, you use like stereotypes to put in animals so that you could see like, oh, that's an animal, but he's like a Latino, and you need to kind of use stereotypes to sort of. But whatever, I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just giving a disclaimer.
Like, yeah,
is they talk about the Asian cat, the Siamese cat.
Oh my God!
So they say that that's like could be racist.
Doesn't the same thing happen in Lady and the Tramp? I remember that, like, yeah, but okay, yeah, like there's a lot of Disney movies that have this instance of like portraying race through an animal.
Yeah, or ethnicity.
Right.
And you have to. But what was the one in the in the Lady and the Tramp?
The same thing, that like there was the lady was in the house, and then I think the mom or like the grandma had bought these cats, and they were Siamese twins, and there was like an Asian music, like their whole little like now that I'm thinking back, like, oh shit, yeah, it was pretty
all right
stereotypical.
I'm gonna take
not to say racist.
I'm gonna write to Disney Plus that there's one that escaped them. We need to get that shit canceled right now.
I'm gonna see if I can send you the clip and you can see it.
Yeah, and then this Dumbo.
Oh my god, yeah, that's the most notorious one.
Oh yeah, you've heard of this one?
That one I've heard of before.
With the crows representing like black people in plantations.
The crows.
Yeah, I mean when I saw that one, that one did feel a bit weird. But I don't remember the movie enough to know like the context. So
that kind of reminds me of Transformers. The which one? Number 2, I think it was. Do you remember that one? Or number 3, maybe?
I mean, to me, all of them are like a blur. But yeah, I've seen them.
Where they make these 2 cars, and like one of the cars, when they turn into like a robot form, has like gold teeth and shit.
And he talks like black.
And he talks in slang, like slang terminology, I guess.
Right.
It was 2 of them. They're like brothers or something like that. And it was
okay. You see, like I mean that's fucking. Like,
but that's more recent. And
yeah.
I don't like.
But then like.
But would it be racist?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, from what I understand, in defense to the Dumbo one, it wasn't supposed to be like they weren't representing slaves. It was just representing how black people dress in those times, from what I understand. So, but I don't know. But so that was the other one, and all these movies I grew up with. So it was really weird.
Yeah.
To hear this, you know.
Same here.
And there's another one on
there's
HBO.
More.
Yeah, on HBO. We have Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
HBO actually took it off and then brought it back, but with like a higher age and like some disclaimer, like, by the way, this is like a racist movie, something like that. So
wait, are they removing the racist part, or they're just saying they're just writing a disclaimer? Look, this movie has depictions of race or whatever.
I mean, if they were to remove everything that they consider racist, isn't the whole movie like based around those times?
I guess. I mean,
no, they're leaving the movie as it is, but they're like letting you know.
They're raising the age, and they're saying, look, there might be some racially insensitive material in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think of that one?
Which one had misogyny?
The misogyny. Oh, I'll get to that.
Okay. Because you talked about race, but you didn't talk about. I mean, misogyny isn't necessarily rape. Misogyny is just hatred towards women.
I think so. Yeah. So. Yeah, that or like a sexual
like abuse.
Yeah. Like or sexually inappropriate. Okay, but we'll get to there. I mean, you're getting excited. You're getting excited there.
Shut up, bro.
Too excited.
A little too excited. Let's take a break.
Yeah. Let's bring it down a notch. Okay. Let's have people feel comfortable with the show. So, What do you think of Gone with the Wind being canceled?
But you said it wasn't canceled. You said
it's not canceled, but you know,
disclaimed or whatever the fuck. I mean, the whole setting of Gone with the Wind takes place during the American Civil War, so part of the reason that happened was because of, slavery. Like, part of the reason that the Civil War, like one of the reasons why the Civil War was going on was the elimination of slavery. That was all in the talks of the Civil War. That was Lincoln time.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, like if it's an historic piece, right? It's kind of because I mean, this is the thing. Is it that I haven't seen the movie. Are they depicted in a? I mean, obviously, if you're talking about slaves, I mean, I don't think there's a way to say you're depicting it wrong or good. But like, no. But like for example, Django has slaves, so is that bad? I mean, at the end, the slave becomes a hero, so it's a movie that has like a positive. So
twist,
right? So like, my question is it just showing something that might be sensitive? Being discriminatory towards that, even if you're just showing it as an historical event or as a piece. Like I just find that with art, it's very hard to like talk about it being discriminatory because like a lot of it is an art piece. It's not the reflection of the person's like opinions.
I think it comes down to like is it significant for the film to be like, for it to be a good film? Does that part of racial talks or inequality or slaves or whatever depiction of race that's being portrayed, is that necessary in the film to make it good? You know?
Okay, well,
like, if you remove that part, will the film still be a good film? Will it still be watchable? Will it still, be, considered a good film? That's where I see talks about race, like for example, like Get Out, or even Gone with the Wind, or these depictions, or like, how about like, what's this other one, Roots? Did you have to depict this whole lifestyle of the slave from birth to death or whatever for you to understand that the way that the slaves used to live,
maybe,
and how it's wrong? No, I do feel like in that particular movie, yeah, like the depicting of the beating, or the calling them names, or the racial slurs, kind of made the movie more intense. It had more gravitas to the movie. Just,
I mean, it's kind of like when you see a Holocaust movie, even if it's horrible, it's meant to give you the message that this shit was wrong and that it shouldn't happen again. So, would you say any movie that shows Jews in a concentration camp is being anti-Semitic?
Right. Like, it goes into that whole thing. Like, I would say no, because it's a timepiece. You're just showing like a piece of history. But do you have to see the Jews inside of the gas chamber being gassed to death, and then clawing at the walls, falling, like, do you have to see all that to be like, oh shit?
I never saw that movie.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking to that extreme, like.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I think it's interesting. The other movie that we're getting now to the nitty gritty.
Where I get like all excited and stuff.
So they're saying that Grease is kind of rapey.
Oh, okay. God damn it! Fuck. It caught up to us, definitely. Yeah. There is something weird, sinister going on behind Grease. Unfortunately, I do agree with their sentiment there.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
But don't you think? I'm not here to defend. I'm not a Grease. I'm just being the devil's advocate.
I mean, I love the movie. I'll watch it. I'll still watch it.
I haven't watched it in a long time, so I need to rewatch it. But I do remember there being. But dude, there's inappropriate movies for today's standards from the 70s and 80s. Like Animal House. Like, there's like a rapey scene where like a girl's passed out and a guy's like have her in his shoulders, and it's like a fun thing. I mean, and I think it shows how we have improved as a society. But it almost feels unfair to judge. I had this thing that I was thinking the other day. It's like, I feel that it's unfair to judge the past with today's standards. Because you're always going to find something that's not right. And you can see this even with Disney movies, where we're like questioning things now. And it's like, this was made for kids. Like, they didn't make it with the intention of, it just happened that at that time the culture had this defined containment where they saw these things as being okay,
So some people nowadays argue that it was like whatchamacallit? What's the word? It was deliberate, like, for them to put those images and stuff in the movies. We just, as young kids, we didn't know any better. But then the adults would see it, or as adults we would grow up and start seeing things. They're like, oh shit.
So you're saying like there's talks also of this being like even more sinister, like not as an accident, but like deliberately, let's put this so people see them as inferior type shit.
I mean, it happens all the time. Maybe not with race, but very prevalent with sex. Like you're always constantly seeing depictions of like phalluses or different sexual organs being displayed incognito in imagery and in drawings and animation, kind of like that whole thing with the whatchamacallit, where they put a dildo on Little Mermaid's VHS case. Do you remember that? Did you ever hear about that?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. You seen it?
I've seen it, the case, and it looks like it, but it also looks like it's part of the artwork, like it's part of the layout of the what it looks like
the abstract background.
So can there be a sinister plot behind it? There could be. I don't know
like
how far.
QAnon,
fuck.
Like
this is where I get canceled.
like a kid trafficking ring that they made movies in Disney with little secrets in there. Now, if we look more towards like Pixar movies, right? Those are very racially and misogynist stable. I'm saying like they're stable in that sense, like they take care of making sure that it's not. I don't remember any movie from Pixar.
All I remember from Pixar is that they really take care of the moms for sure, bro.
What do you mean? The moms are fine?
Like in animation standards. Look at Elastigirl. That hip to waist ratio. Oof.
Okay. So, I mean,
among other,
I mean, as you know, the anime porn is something that's really big nowadays.
Oh my god.
But no, the first movie Pixar made with Disney was Toy Story 1, if I'm not mistaken. And since then onwards, they haven't had a controversy.
I mean, they've made things before Toy Story 1.
Yeah, but like big, I think that was the first one. Do you think? Because I mean, if you look back at movies, like the other day I was watching the 40-Year-Old Virgin, right?
Oh, I love it.
And that movie is not old at all. It's like 2000.
If you don't use it, you lose it, bro.
You don't use it, you lose it. And there were even a few parts of the movie where I was like, "Oh, this might be like the
sensitive."
Yeah, like the part where they're like, "You know how I know you're gay?" Because you listen to Coldplay. You know how I know you're gay. So that today, could you make that?
Not without feedback.
No, not without a meeting with HR.
Hey, we make mistakes, bro.
You remember the part? I recently saw this scene because my sister was talking to me about some place that she was working that was doing like some sort of dating events where single people would go and try to get like a loving partner and Corona and I showed her like
wait do you get one or both?
I mean if you're lucky, you're
lucky you get both.
You get a double trouble
for sure, guaranteed Corona. After that, if you get a love life,
if you get a partnership, that's a different thing. But I showed her the speed dating scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh my god.
And you have that like but that scene where like it's like, oh hi Gina, oh it's Gina, and I mean that part wasn't specifically wrong, but then there was one part where he's asking questions to the lady because some friend told him like just ask questions, that's what women like. so she's like, how are you? And he's like, how are you? And she's like, all
right, like just flip it back as a question.
Yeah. I'm fine. Where are you from? Where are you from? And then he kept doing that.
I'm fine. Where are you from?
And then she just goes, are you fucking retarded? And I remember like, oh yes, this movie, like that would be a problem today.
Just because you're using the word retarded?
Yeah. Also that movie, which was really nice too, Tropic Thunder.
He can't go full. You can't go full retard.
Well, you have that. You have you have that. You have Simple Jack.
Oh my god.
You have Blackface.
Blackface, Robert Downey.
So like, but it's sort of like he got grandpa in.
I guess it's one of the last of its kind, where it was acceptable to. I mean, because are we the essence of it comes from like, what are we laughing at that joke? You know, like, are we laughing at the fact that he's a retard? Are we laughing at the fact that he's black? Are we laughing at more than one thing? Are we laughing at the fact that he plays a retard in the movie Tropic Thunder?
But the Robert Downey doesn't play the retard.
No. What is it? This guy's name?
Yeah, Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller. There you go. Ben Stiller plays the retard.
Yeah, and then, well, I mean, he plays a mentally challenged person.
Okay. Yes. Of course. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying. Yeah. I'm not saying it to be morally high ground. I'm just saying that. I don't. Yeah, that is weird, right? Because they have that person who's mentally challenged, and then you have Robert Downey Jr. saying "Don't go full retard." So it's
And then talking about the I Am Sam, that was another one. But that was like, you never saw I Am Sam?
Is that like The Killer?
No, that's the one with Sean Penn that he like that. The whole reference to that was because Sean Penn did a movie where he kind of went retarded. Okay, sorry, mentally challenged.
That he is mentally challenged on the movie.
In the movie, and it's a like a documentary timepiece. Like it's very nice. I cried at the end of it. It was like shit. Like the struggles that people that are mentally challenged have to go through is rough, among other things. But yeah, and he was talking about like Robert Downey Jr. That's all. The whole thing came from. Yeah, you can never go full.
Why? Because on the movie they said that phrase.
No, because I think he was making a reference to Sean Penn, the actor, portraying and saying that he went too far by the way that he acted. But yeah.
But I mean, I'm happy that society has grown to the point where we can look back at certain things and be like, oh, this was a bit rough around the edges. But isn't it fucked that it feels like we will not have again those movies? Like that movie. I mean, that was a fucking amazing movie. And sorry, yeah.
No. I'm thinking like, what if we acknowledge the fact that it's fucked up? You know? We acknowledge the fact that those jokes or those commentaries or whatever are fucked up. And then we just have an actor in the movie like giving the person shit for saying that fucked up shit, you know?
But then it would sort of kill the... I mean, like, if you have to acknowledge... It's sort of like when a comedian does stand-up, right?
And then he has to explain the joke?
And he's saying some fucked up shit. If he has to say, by the way, I'm not racist, then it cuts the whole... It sort of breaks the fourth wall. I think.
So
I don't know.
Why even have the joke? Is that what you're saying? Why even joke about it?
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
No, but like, I mean,
I'm saying like, it's very similar to stand-up. In stand-up, you can be fucked up if it's funny enough. So I think that when you're doing insensitive jokes, it has to be funny so that it can overcome
the insensitivity.
Because, bro, okay, let's be real. When you're chilling with your friends, you're more fucked up than you would in public, right? Like, I mean, if you think I'm fucked up here,
Yeah, and especially close friends. Yeah.
I mean, chill with me and John on a barbecue. And so
yeah, you don't want to see the green room.
Yeah, you don't want to see the green room. So so what I'm trying to say is the reason why when you're with friends you're able to have these inside jokes and shit is because the context that you all live in is very accurate and very it's the same for all of you, right? So you have these little jokes that you make with yourself, and because you know each other well and you're not afraid of offending the other person, when you're joking, part of making the other person laugh is catching them off guard. And the way you catch them off guard is by saying some shit that's even more fucked up than he would have thought you would be able to. And that's what's like, fuck, that's funny because this motherfucker dared to say this shit, right? So obviously it's harder when you scale it to like masses because you also have to deal with the sensitivities of the masses and not just your friends. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't feel like it's wrong. Like I wouldn't feel like, oh, when I'm with my friends, I shouldn't talk about this or that. I just feel like I know when I can do it because I know that my friends know that I'm a good person and obviously know that I'm joking. And that's why I have to go so far. When you're with people that you don't know and you're trying to make them laugh, it's harder because they don't know who you are. So they might think like, oh, fuck, this guy's fucked up. So that's why it has to be even funnier. But with movies, it's the same. Like, if you're trying to be funny or dramatic or bring an art piece, I don't think necessarily you should take away everything that's fucked up because it doesn't add to the movie or it's not necessary. I think wouldn't say it's necessary, but I think it does add value. I mean, I'm not saying being fucked up adds value. I'm saying if whatever you're trying to express is good enough, it could add value regardless of it being fucked up or not. Maybe.
Interesting. I can see where you're coming with that. Damn.
Do you think we'll have movies like that again?
Movies like that would portray, that would kind of like make fun or poke at things like that, like mentally challenged people or
well,
people
I mean that or well, you don't have to put it like that. Like
no,
I mean, it's everything. They have also the whole like the gay thing with like 40-year-old virgin. You know how I know you're gay? Like you could say that's like, why is that a joke? Because being gay is bad. You know what I mean? Like, why is it funny for you to be like, you know how I know you're gay? But then at the same time, it's like, is that really ill-intended? But I don't know. Maybe we're changing so much that even that we should revise. I don't know. I mean, I feel like we don't have to. But I'm always growing and questioning, But I gotta be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like some of this shit is like when somebody makes a joke like, and then the Latinos came and there were 15 people in one little car. Like that's a stereotype. But if you're funny enough, it might be funny. If it's tacky, if it's like the same jokes, I'm not gonna be offended. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, that wasn't funny.
Yeah, that wasn't funny.
But there's the shit that's funny as fuck, and there's something noble about making fun of everyone in the plaza of the community.
So if it was funny enough, you could say that you can make fun of anybody.
You can find funny in anything. Like Louis C.K. is a master at that. I don't know if you know that comedian, but the last special he did, he was talking about. There's this joke, right, where he starts talking about people that don't have. You seen it?
Some of it.
Which
one?
Seriously, it's called.
I think I've kind of.
All right, he's talking about people that don't have legs, right, and how like pretty much saying like buying a wheelchair is not an impulse buy, like. Because like he saw a wheelchair on a window, and he was like, "Do you really have to advertise like this is not a impulse buy, right?" Like, And then he's like saying like, "What you think somebody just was just crawling around one day and saw it and was like, man, if I got this, it'll make my crawling around a lot less annoying and all this shit." And people just laughing, they're laughing, and then he keeps telling the story like, "Yeah, and I wouldn't have to drag myself since I lost my legs," and everybody's losing, laughing, and then he's like, "In that terrible bombing in the marathon." And then
oh my god.
and then everybody turned on him, right? Like, oh.
Oh.
And then he addresses him like, "What the fuck, you hypocrite pieces of shit! Like, you were just laughing at the legless man, right? Like, but not those legless people.
Not those.
Oh, only the ones that were born like that, and fuck them. Like. So there's this dynamic where
I'm about to watch it.
Like, I find it, like, when I watch Louis C.K., I find that search for the fucked up dark shit that's so dark that when he hits the funny is even better, but you have to be a genius to create it. I think that is worthy of value. I do feel that to achieve that type of funny, you can only do it with certain shit like that. You couldn't do it with, like, I'm not saying you cannot be funny if you're not fucked up, but there is an art to it for comedians that do fucked up shit. And this goes for, like, movie making. Like, Quentin Tarantino does shit that people might find problematic. But would you say it's good enough? And he portrays this artistic piece that's so good that you're like, you justify the use of the N-word on Django and this and that on other movies. You know what I mean? Like, I do think the artistic part surpasses the sensitivity bullshit, but it has to be good.
Right. I feel like it could only work if it surpasses the sensitivity. Like, the funny or the art part has to surpass the sensitivity for it to not be, canceled. Right?
No, I think what you're trying to say is that it has to surpass the. It doesn't. I know what I mean is that the sensitivity is like where people would get pissed off.
Right. No, like the sensitivity of people getting pissed off. The art or the comedy in saying that joke or whatever or comment or whatever, that has to exceed the amount of people being pissed off.
For what to happen?
For this piece to exist. Otherwise, it'll get canceled because more people are making a fuss about it than it actually is worth seeing.
Okay. So you're saying, yeah, like the quality of it has to be good enough so that it overshadows the bitching about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like do you still listen to R. Kelly?
Sometimes. I mean, not really, but I would, like, if I'm drinking, with my homies and we're passing the Cavassier,
or remix Ignition.
Come on, Adam Fresh out the kitchen. I mean, that shit was a classic.
Burn It Up. Come on.
You know what's funny? You know a comedian called Aziz Ansari? He used to be like one of my favorite comedians back in the day. And then he had a special where he's talking about R. Kelly and like how back in the day he used to like him, and then now the whole thing happened with him. But that he's still like, at times he's like, hot and fresh out the kitchen. So he's like making fun of like how you have those two things can be true at the same time. And then he kind of got canceled because he went on some date later on in life where the girl was like, not whatever, like they just like sucked each other off or some shit. And the next day she was like, dude, it was just like a bad date at the most, right? At the most. But she like released the text messages and made him look like a piece of shit. And he was like very gentlemanish about it, I would say. But anyways, then later he did a special where he's like, it's very eerie because he's sort of like apologizing for it, which you can address it, but I don't think he had to apologize because he could have just been like, look, I'm sorry if anybody felt like it wasn't common, but for me it was, I don't know. But again, when you're in Hollywood that big, like you kind of have to, follow the guidelines. Yeah. But it was funny because
color within the lines.
The R. Kelly thing is a thing that you're like, could you be canceled if you still like him nowadays?
I don't think so, because like yeah, we all acknowledge that what he did was wrong, but that has something to do with his talent as a musician or as a lyricist or as a rapper or R&B singer.
It's like Dave Chappelle's joke where he's like, yeah, Michael Jackson and those kids or whatever, but he made Thriller. He made Thriller.
He made Thriller. Bro, you can't tell me
the art surpassed the sensitivities.
you can't tell me you don't start flapping your arms in the air when you hear "I Believe I Can Fly."
Billie Jean, I mean, come on, dog. I ain't thinking about no kids.
Girl, that I am the one.
But the kid is lying. I didn't do shit to him.
Damn.
Oh, so yeah, Michael Jackson.
So that was the arts and entertainment section.
That was the arts and entertainment section. We're pitching this whole pilot to People's Magazine. I think they'll find this very down their path, on their lane. You know.
Oh man.
No, but dude, I think I'm very interested in seeing what's gonna happen in the future with movies, and if we're gonna have like a turnaround, where like in 5-10 years we're gonna start seeing movies that are edgy again, because I don't know, or maybe we're just gonna go so woke that you're never gonna sleep. It's gonna be just wokeness all the time. You try to fall asleep and some guy just tree hugger just slaps you in the face like, dog, you gotta be woke.
Oh man, I think people will more likely prefer to ignore shit than to acknowledge it.
You like how so?
Like they'll ignore it because it doesn't affect them. Like they'll ignore it because they're not affected by race or by.
You mean like
ethnicity.
They just keep quiet?
They just won't say anything, and they inside their own mind they think whatever they want to think. Like, who's stopping you from thinking whatever you want to think in your mind?
Yeah, but you can like listen to the broski doodles and like in your head be like, well, I kind of think some ways like that guy, but I wouldn't fucking make a podcast and show it to the world. But I would listen to him. So so maybe you have, I guess, more active people and then more passive people, right? So, and I think that you need both. Like, you need people like me and other. I mean, I'm at the very bottom of the totem pole. I'm not bringing any knowledge or value to the fucking, to
the world.
Yeah,
to the world of YouTube.
Yeah, this is really sort of the grimiest, like at the bottom shit. But
like, why are you even watching this?
Yeah. No, do watch it. No,
please,
it's really
please.
Good. No, but what I'm trying to say is that you have people like me and others that have even more educated voices and voice things out, and then you have the people that listen to it that they're important to, and even if they don't want to be too vocal about it, just listening, they're doing their part as well.
Right.
So even though you are not fucked up, just listening to us allows you to vicariously live through
our fucked up lives.
Yeah. That you live it too as well, but you're sort of reconnecting it on the interwebs. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
And now we're going to the section of psychology. No.
Really?
No.
That's a new one. That's a new one for me.
No, that's gonna be on the next episode. We do need to get smarter. We bought books, so we're gonna start reading. I've been thinking of getting a Kindle so that I can have all the books in my hands, in one hand. And yeah, so little by little, we're gonna start reading more, becoming more educated. John's gonna gonna get his GED very soon. And
I just recently bought the entire collection of Dr. Seuss books, so I should be doing good.
About the whole. About the encyclopedia for the dummies, those books.
I'll learn my colors and my shapes by the end of the week.
For dummies. Oh shit! All right, broski doodles. Thank you for joining us today on another great episode with me and your boy, Big John, over there in the Vice city of Miami, where they don't give a fuck. And if you wear a mask, you pussy. So,
shit.
So keep it real, keep it gangster, and keep it kosher. That's what they say. Broski Doodles, peace.
Take care.